It's time to reevaluate your circle. For someone, you have individuals around you who don't have your best interests at heart. They may say that they do. They may tell you that they love you, they care for you, they're trying to be there for you. But at the same time, every time you need them to be there for you, the only thing they're doing is dumping all of their issues onto you. They're they're dumping all their trauma, all their drama onto you. Every time you turn around, you can't call and check on this person to see how they're doing without them filling your ear with drama, with trauma. You know, and I know I know this is going to hit home for many of you. You know, you sit there and you call that homegirl or that homeboy, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing? What's good? How you been?" And for 15 minutes, maybe even an hour straight, you listening to them go on and on and on about that person, about their girlfriend, their boyfriend, or their ex. Oh yeah, this person did this, that, and the third. They did A, B, C, and D. I can't believe it. All these things, and they tell you all of these things to try and play the victim as to trying to get you to be on their side, trying to get you to empathize with them, trying to get you to co-sign to their madness. No matter what's going on in the situation, if whatever's going on is their fault or if it's the other person's fault, they just want to fill you with all this negativity about that other person. And then when you truly, because you care, you're a chosen one, so you're true and genuine at heart, you truly have love for that person, especially if it's your friend, someone near or dear to you. You want to give them the best advice that you possibly can because you don't want to see them hurting. You don't want to see them going through unnecessary drama. You don't want to see them entertaining the wrong individual. You want to see them happy, healed, and whole in the Lord as you seek to be yourself. So it is instilled in you to try and help others, to pray for others, to try and encourage others, to give them advice, to try and lift them up. But then you sit back and you realize that every time you talk to this person, it's the same thing, different day. They dump all of this trauma, all of this drama on you about what's going on with that person. Yet and still, you pour your heart out into giving them advice, giving them direction, giving them wise counsel in regards to the matter. And they go right back to the same ways instantly. They go right back and they accept the same madness. And it's a continuous cycle over and over and over. When you talk to these people, you sit there on the phone or in person and you sit there and you're trying to sit there and let them vent. You're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're trying to let them vent. You're trying to be there for them. You're trying to console them. But nonetheless, in you sitting there and allowing them to dump all of that toxic, negative energy onto you, all of that negative, toxic trauma and drama that they're dumping onto you, you're only allowing them to drain your energy. Have you ever talked to a person and allowed them to do this and all they talk about is the same thing over and over and it's always something negative, and as soon as you uh before you know it, in the middle of the conversation, by the end of the conversation, you feel so drained. You feel like you just worked a 16-hour shift. You feel like you haven't had any sleep in 24 to 48 hours. You feel exhausted, mind, body, and spirit. You feel just exerted. Like you just want to curl up and go to sleep. You could have just been full of energy, had a whole day planned, all these things you were getting ready to do. And all of a sudden, once you talk to that person, you feel depleted. That's a spirit. That is warfare, that's spiritual warfare at its best. The enemy will use these people to come in and drain you, and these people don't mean no harm. A lot of them don't know they're even being used. But the fact of the matter is they're unhealed and they don't want to heal because in seeking you for advice, You're trying to give them the tools needed to heal, but they turn right around and go against that and do the very opposite. So just as it says in the word, that person does not receive. You dust your shoes off and you keep it pushing. And I know when it's your friend, when it's your relative, your family member, someone near and dear to you, someone close to you that this is going on with and this is happening to, you want to help them. It's just in your nature. You want to help them. You have a loving, caring, helpful, nurturing nature. You want to help them, but you can't help everybody. You can't help everybody because some people don't want the help. Some people just want to hear themselves talk. It makes them feel better just to blab off about all of these things when they're caught up in their emotions and they're in their feelings about whatever happened. It's easy for them to um, dump all of this on someone else just to vent, not realizing how it's affecting you. You gotta step back from these people. Not to say you have to cut them off totally and completely, but you're gonna have to learn to feed them with a long handled spoon. These individuals, you can't be all up in their face around them 24/7. You cannot be talking to them on an everyday basis. You can't wake up in the morning and start your morning routine and all of a sudden this person is calling you and you allow them to throw your whole day off because they want to call and they want to dump all of this weight, all of this toxicity, all of this drama, all of this trauma on you bright and early in the morning. And next thing you know, you get through talking to them for 15, 20 minutes. And now your whole day, now you're moody. Now you snappy. Now you got an attitude. Maybe now you're drained. Now you feel depleted. Now you don't have the energy that you need to go and fulfill your mission or your goals for the day. You're going to have to really analyze your circle and you're going to have to cut some people loose in this season. And I know it's not going to be easy by far, but it's time because you're being elevated. You're being ascended. You're being promoted in this season. And in doing so, you cannot take these individuals with you. And like I say, if this is a friend, a really, really close friend or a relative or something of that nature, it may not be meant for you to cut them off totally and completely. It may be. Don't get me wrong. That may be the case, but it might not be. So please take that back to the Lord in prayer. Because if it's not meant for you to cut them off completely, it's at least meant for you to create a great distance between you all to where, yeah, you can check on them here and there, make sure they're well, but you can't be answering them 5 a.m. calls for them to dump all their drama on you. You can't be sitting on the phone, and if they do call, you need to just keep it real sweet and short. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, have a blessed day, you know, so on and so forth. Talk to you later. Not spend hours and hours sitting on the phone allowing them to pour all that onto you. It's not fair to you and it's hindering you from making progress. You can make much more progress if you were not continually being drained unnecessarily. So I just pray this quick message blesses someone and encourages someone. I love you all. God loves you all. God bless you all. Talk to you soon. Till next time.